Okay, so my business idea is a little bit different because I'm not doing to consumer, I'm doing to business. So business to business. And it's a little diverse because it's about, well, first of all, do you know what wind power is? To start off completely.
Yes.
Everyone knows what wind power is.
Mm.
So you know what wind turbines are? Basically, I have actually a picture of it here. Oh, sorry. Okay, so these are wind turbines. So it's basically a steel construction. It's a steel tower, and this is one piece. So you guys have to pretend you are wind power manufacturers, okay?
Okay.
Because these are my customers, wind powers. So it's different. The wind turbine, the structure of it, is sold to wind power companies who sell the energy. Tell me if it doesn't make sense, because I know it's a little bit a complex theme.
Who's she selling to?
Yeah, she's selling to the wind energy companies.
Yeah. So like the wind power and wind turbine manufacturers. Okay. So I'm in the wind turbine manufacturer industry, and my customers are the wind power clients. Okay. So what the normal today is we're producing steel towers, and this is a construct of like 3. So it's kind of like cut into 3, and they're massive to produce and they're massive to transport, and it's a bit of it's the only way that it's actually done today. So so the advantages of wind turbines and wind power in general is that, of course, it's clean energy. You promote, or you try to decline the climate change, and it's a lot of companies want to have or have part of the energy from wind power because it helps with their CSR and their company profile. And also today, a lot of the government and political restrictions on how much the companies are allowed to produce of coal, for example. Yeah, fossil fuels. So, in short, it's an increasing market, and also to pinpoint, like from Denmark, we actually used, not many months ago, we used 140% of our electricity from wind power alone. So that's just to say that it's a doable market, and this actually also proved, it's pretty new, so it proves to the rest of the world that it can be done to have a world or economy purely from wind power. So
what happened to the rest? It got exported?
It got exported to Norway and Germany.
Thank you.
Mostly. So this is just to say, what you need to get out of this is that it's an increasing market, wind power, and it's, there are a lot of advantages in going into this industry and building it, and but there are some problems with it as well. And today the problem is transportation mainly. So you see, this is one part, and you cannot cut it or into pieces. So you need to like have it. This is the smallest part it can be when you transport it.
How long is that?
I'm sorry, I don't know, because this is a different. It depends on it goes up to like 1.3 megawatts. So it's very different how long they are. But basically, you need like special cars, and you need to close some highways. It's a really, really big hassle if you want to transport it. And today, it's mainly done. It's mainly done like close to the factory, so it's not. It's hard or like shipped far either to China. So it's like certain pathways that you can transport to, because it's very different to find new ones. So basically. Yeah, so the size of the steel tower right now, and this is all made of steel. It's very difficult because you cannot, as I said, like put it down to small pieces. And so you need specialized transportations, and this becomes all technical, but these are the flanges, and they're very sensitive, so you cannot bend them. So basically, the whole point you need to get from this also is that the transportation of these massive steel towers is a big hassle. Problem number 2 is that it's hard for these structures to reach third world.
Is that Lagos?
Yes, it is. Do you recognize it?
Yep, it is.
So the point I'm trying to make here from this picture is that you cannot access all types of roads using this transportation that they have currently of the steel towers. Let me know if you're off. I know it's. Are you all following this so far?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you can imagine you can't just like swipe in huge massive steel towers, do this crap example. So there's a problem with the infrastructure, and also you cannot access the third world countries because they often do not have the adequate infrastructure to implement these pathways. So a solution to this, I'm going to go ahead and just get that. The solution to this is that I want to start something that's called Conelto, and it's not made of steel, it's made up of concrete. And so concrete, and a thing about that is that it's much cheaper to make compared to steel. It's much more abundant, so you have it's everywhere, and there's like much more quantity compared to steel as well. And you can use from recycled materials. And the huge advantage from this is also that you can access the third world countries, because this is a small sample of what it actually looks like. They're small concrete towers that you can cut it off to like pieces like this. So you can use a regular truck to transport it instead of having these specialized trucks to transport the massive steel towers. So basically, this is the idea. So you can transport it to all these different locations in the third world countries. So you can access it a wider range, and it's the transportation is basically that's a big solution to that, and also it's cheaper and it's more abundant, and yes, and then you also have the possibility of setting up factories closer to the places that you want to set up the wind turbine, because it's so cheap to make a concrete construction compared to the steel. Is anyone completely lost? Or does anyone get it at all?
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
So this is just for the towers of it.
Yeah.
Just towers, because I know the turbine's got to be in steel, and the whole thing's got to be. You got the electrical box, and the turbines actually have to spin. Like, I feel like concrete would be extremely heavy to move around. So this is just for the towers.
This is just for the towers, yeah.
Okay, because those turbines are probably the same size as the actual steel beams themselves. So transporting the actual blades for it is just going to be the same type of task as doing the towers. Because where I'm from, they do that all the time. They're just about the same size.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. Because that could be another solution to maybe see if I can make it. But the issue that you can't really construct the blade of concrete because it's also much more heavy.
Yeah, I was
So
just making
that
the
would
point.
be-
I was just making the point that the
No,
blades
that's a
are
good
quite
point.
large as well. So you have to figure something out to.
Can I
Yeah.
make another point? Because I have experience with construction and design, and I think steel you can, same idea you have, you can still program it in such a way that this steel becomes little donut pieces like this. Because concrete is going to be really, really bulky, and it's just the aesthetics of it will just, it's two different things working together. So if you still take that blade, which does the spinning for the electricity, in steel, then shift the idea to the pole, and then slice it. You can ask for technology or some people that can design and do it, see if it's possible, instead of concrete. The idea is good, but it's just, I think, keeping it still.
But that's the issue, because it's a relative big industry and of course they have they've tried to, because it is such a big issue with the transportation, so they have tried to cut it or try to improve certain things, but there's a certain limit to how many times you can cut it, because it's a big construction and you need it to be stable as well. So that's why you currently with steel, at least, because they've tried so many things, and you cannot decrease it to down to a certain length. And also with the aesthetics, that's actually a huge disadvantage for the industry, because that's what everyone says, that it's a good course, but it's ugly.
It's ugly, yeah. It's the first
So
thing
that's even with steel towers when they paint and everything. But this is a solution that you can also use in the third world countries, where maybe they are more concerned with abundance and the cost of it than maybe the aesthetics.
So you're mainly just targeting the third world countries, basically, with
I
this.
think, well, personally, because that's my motivation. If I want to do this, that it's I want to do it for a good cause as well, or maybe help something. And it's also what I said before as well. It could help them leapfrog to instead of going through this whole stage that we have done. It can just go straight to this new formula. That would also help them. Yeah.
When you talk about third world countries, to which countries are you referring to?
Well, Africa mostly.
Yeah, remember,
I know it's
Africa's
pretty
not
big.
country, it's not
I know it's not a
country.
country, but to be honest, I don't know much about it, and that's to answer your question as much as I can. That would probably be it.
Okay.
The concrete tower technology already exists.
Sorry?
Using concrete to build the towers already exists.
It does exist, but you need like a certain. It's not only concrete, so you need like a certain substance that can also make it more solid. So that substance always it does already exist.
So there are sites where they've got concrete based.
Not sites per se, but the tower exists, but not with like a proper function. Do you understand? Like the tower exists, but it's not like delivering wind power.
Because they're testing it, or
I'm not sure what the actual reason is.
No.
I have to figure out.
I know that the big advantage for steel is that it's flexible and tensile. So one has to ask whether concrete is going to have those properties as well, and whether it's necessary in high wind conditions. But that's why I'm curious as to whether they've implemented it anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Isn't concrete though really easy to mix and stuff? Because I know in the States, everywhere you go, it's so cheap to make concrete things. Like every other town has, a place where you could get what's it called, the mortar or whatever, and you just mix it up.
Yeah, but of course this is a little different because you need like chemicals in it as well, or at least the ones that are implemented today have that. But
You will need to, because the whole point of steel is that it can move when it's windy.
yeah.
As opposed to concrete needs steel in it, I think. I think it has steel in it, some of the structures.
That's another thing I have to research.
Yeah, because concrete on its own will just fall over.
Mm.
And the place to look at is Japan, where they have the open cement-based buildings, right? And that's why they have a lot of steel content in their buildings. Blah, 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 blah. Spoken to any energy companies yet?
I have my family business is in energy, wind power, but not this necessarily.
Who are you going to speak to?
I'm gonna speak to the person in charge.
First, they do wind energy.
Yeah.
Okay. Who else? What other?
Well, wind energy is my. So these are my customers.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking about also speaking to Siemens.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because they're located in.
That's good enough.
Nathalie.
Do you have contacted Siemens to speak to?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.